In a building, we have one of the most decorated R&B artists in the game. And that's just off of one project. And she got a new joint that she's just getting ready to feed the streets with. That's out right now. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Ella May!
Thank you for having me. I love that, Belle.
Thank you. I love it too.
Man, so a lot has happened, since 2018 and now.
Yes.
And here we are with a new body of work, Heart on My Sleeve. And the streets have been waiting for this because you were a part of a new regime as it relates to R&B, because people was having a conversation like, yo, R&B is dead, but it was you and people like SZA and a few other notable ones who came through. It was like, Not only we back, we dominating the charts. You got all the awards.
Yeah.
7 times platinum on Boo'd Up.
Wild.
Crazy.
Wild.
And the new single's running it up too. How do you feel?
I'm excited, man. I know I've been away for a while and everyone's been wondering where I was, but I've been really working really, really hard on this album. So I'm just excited that it's out and everyone gets to hear it.
And of course, everybody always says the sophomore Jinx, right?
Yes.
That's the main thing that everybody says. Is that anything that weighed on you when you were creating this album, or that wasn't even on your mind at all?
No, I can't even lie. There was a little period of time where I was getting into my head a lot, and especially coming off the back of such a successful debut, it's quite scary to go back into. I remember when I first started, after I toured the whole of 2019, started this album at the beginning of 2020, and kind of got in the studio and was like, what do I even do? Where do I go? What do I say? What do I want to sound like? And it took me a little while to figure that out, especially because of the pandemic. So everything was quite stop-start. So to find my rhythm and just creating was a little bit hard. But once I found it and really realized what I wanted to say and what I wanted to sound like, and kind of got over that sophomore Jinx type of thing, and got out of my head, it was super fun. It was really, really fun.
It's often said that you spend your whole life writing your first album, and then your second album is written over a short amount of time because, you got to pump it out. So with the pandemic kind of bringing everything to a screeching halt for about almost 2 years for some, less for others, how did you find the inspiration and things to talk about when people aren't necessarily having the best outside experiences?
Yeah. I'm quite grateful and I was quite lucky actually during the pandemic that it didn't really bother me creatively that much. I'm very much a homebody, and I get inspiration from outside, yes, but I don't go out that much anyway when I'm allowed to, or when we were allowed to before the pandemic. So I was really just going off of what I was experiencing in my day-to-day life. And as much as, obviously some of that was at home, I still got to move around a little bit and take inspiration from my friends or relationships or my family. So I wasn't I wasn't bothered by it in that sense creatively at all, which was quite lucky because I know it was different for a lot of people, but I was good.
Music aside, what makes Ella May truly feel alive?
Oh, that's a great question. I just recently started playing tennis. We were just speaking about sports, and and I it just kind of ignited a new flame in me. I during the pandemic, I tried to start working out more. I got a trainer because I hate working out, but I was just I have to do something. I can't just sit here and not do anything and gain a bunch of weight and not be healthy. So I took up 2 days a week with my trainer, and then I started playing tennis, and tennis is really just kind of just brought on this whole new active world where I really, really enjoy it, as opposed to it being I got to go and work out. I want to get up and go and play tennis.
Okay, watch out, Naomi Osaka.
No, listen, I definitely can't. But also tennis is really hard.
It is.
I didn't realize. I feel when you watch professional tennis players, as you watch any professional, they make it look easy, but tennis is actually really hard, and it's other than playing doubles, in a lot of other sports, you get to rely on your team, obviously. But tennis, you're by yourself, and people play for 5 hours in the heat, and I'm just I'm done after 20 minutes. I'm how, but yeah, no, I really enjoy tennis.
It helps build up cardio. I tell artists all the time, especially rappers, all that back and forth on stage. Yo, learn a sport that can build your lungs. I hate hearing people rap over their vocals and whatnot. But with this newfound cardio that you're building up, will it be dance moves and stuff incorporated to the show to where you can do the notes and
Yeah, we're definitely working on my live show. It's been a while since I've performed a whole set live. I'm not gonna
Okay.
give you full blown choreography. That's just not me. I know my strengths and my weaknesses. But we definitely are working on adding like some movement and stuff like that because I think it's important. I don't just want to stand there and sing all day. So yeah.
Yeah, I had the honor of seeing you perform a couple of times, and one of the times I was literally like front row and center. And you didn't do dance moves, but you didn't have to because
thank you.
sounded so incredible. Your voice was exactly like the record.
Thank you. I
So when
appreciate
you
that.
do get the dancing, are you going to use a little voice track to help you out? Cause
I mean, listen. Whatever you have to do, like dancing
Right.
dancing alone without singing
tough.
is tough.
It is.
And then you come and like you have to come back in and then you're breathing heavy and like it's tough. So I mean I have no clue because I don't plan on like I said super like choreographed dance moves. But we'll see. I don't. I feel like people discredit people who use like vocal tracks
they
in
do.
performances, but people don't realize performing live is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And you obviously want to get up there and sound your best. You don't want to get up there and be out of breath and whatever else. So people do what they have to do, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
You might be having a twerk competition with Lotto for the Didn't Say video. Is that
She'll
on the-
definitely beat me. She's definitely gonna beat me in that area.
Are y'all
She's
gonna do
definitely-
a video for that record?
I hope so. I
Yeah.
hope so. That record was really fun to make. I had it like from the start of my album process. It was one of the first songs that I recorded. And then we got her on it like super last minute. But I met her during that time. And obviously she was working on her album. And she's always been super sweet to me. And I'm a fan. Like I always say, first and foremost, anybody that I work with, I want to be a fan of and be able to like, I like her music. I think she's a great lyricist. And I'm like, to watch her come up, obviously, over all these years, has been like, it's inspiring. So I'm glad she's a part of it.
Yeah, you got
Indeed.
good features on there. Lucky
Thank you.
Day as well,
Yes,
Rowdy
yes,
Rich.
yes.
I love Lucky Day. That
Me
right
too.
there, I can't wait to hear this collaboration. They've been holding that album near and dear, child.
No, we
Yeah,
have.
because we was begging. It's like, yo, send us
We
the
was
album.
begging for a little clip of it, but it's out now, and we're
Yes.
gonna get to listen because you know now we're excited about
Yes,
it.
yes.
So what's the next single? Because you do have. I always just call it what it is. Don't fuck me up. Don't let me down. Who let you down?
I've been let down many times before. I feel like, just be it. And like I said, putting out my debut album when I was 23, almost 24, and now being 27, like just growing as a woman, I feel like, and learning like what you will and won't put up with, you know what I mean? And just kind of appreciating the fact that you can get somewhere. And I'm a very like, I don't even want to say blunt, but I'm quite straightforward. That's blunt in a nicer way. But I always kind of like tell it how it is in however I'm feeling. I feel like I should tell you. I don't feel like I should have to not be myself and say if something's bothering me. Do you know what I mean? So with DFMU, it really was just that. It's like, look, I've been disappointed in the past. I've been let down, as we all have.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm at. Just please, like, we're here. We're invested. Don't let me down.
I love your stream of consciousness approach to writing because it seems like LMA, you truly say what's on your mind, And going back to you was talking about collaborators. You and DJ Mustard have a dope synergy going on.
Do it again,
man.
do it again.
I heard you say something to the effect like that is your brother, right?
Yes.
But does Mustard, do you write all your stuff, or does he help you out at any given time, like co-write maybe?
With writing, no. Production.
Just
yeah,
production,
yeah.
okay? Because I was gonna say maybe he could have gave you a little topic or something because he was going through something.
No. He doesn't write any of my
Yeah,
stuff.
okay. All right, no, but y'all did do the Fenty fashion show.
We did,
And
yes.
that was something I was super excited about. That's when we heard the debut to Not Another Love Song.
Yes.
And to me, I love that song. That's
Thank
my
you.
song.
Thank you.
Why did y'all choose to not go forward with moving with that song?
We were going to. That was the original plan, obviously, but everything was just so up in the air with the pandemic, and it
Yeah.
was just a weird time for music. I feel like I still feel like it's a little bit of a weird time. It's not how it was before, and I think putting out Not Another Love Song was what I wanted to do. All of my team were kind of like,
Wait,
because
yeah.
of the nobody knew what was going on in the world. We didn't
Yeah.
know whether we were going to get back open, whether we were going to close down again. So, but I just really wanted to put it out because I loved the song. So it was really just kind of not even a throwaway because it's on the album. It's on Heart on My Sleeve. But it was really just kind of like, okay, this is what the type of stuff that I'm making right now. And it was kind of just like a taster.
Yeah.
And then the plan all along was to record in 2020. And then obviously, hopefully put out the album in 2021. But with the way of the world and how everything worked, I didn't want to rush it. I really just wanted to make sure that it was done and that I would be able to work it properly once it came out, because I feel like it's a disservice to yourself if you work so hard on something and then you're not able to really like actually work it properly. And I think with music, the music is 50% of it, and the work after you put it out and really actually working it is the other 50%. It's just as important. So I wanted to make sure I did it right.
If you knew that things are how they are now, would you have waited to release the song, or you still would have just kept doing the same schedule?
Yeah, no, I don't think it was a bad thing. I don't think it was detrimental at all. I think it was definitely like a taster into what this album is.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, obviously it didn't go exactly to plan timeline wise, but I don't think it messed anything up.
It's still my song.
Thank you.
Yo, unlimited bops. Now, what would 27-year-old Ella Mai tell 18-year-old Ella Mai?
Oh Lord.
Knowing what you know now, because you've seen
Across
a lot of
the
things,
pond.
but also got a lot of blessings in the process.
Yeah. What would I tell my 18-year-old self? I don't know everything. I think like just take some time to really like listen to other people. I think I'm very like I keep saying this, but I've always grown up in a world where I'm like it's very black and white. There's no gray area. I like it's this way or it's this way or it's no way. And I'm a Scorpio, so I feel like that comes into
freaky.
So I feel like now as a 27-year-old, I realize that a lot of stuff does live more so in the gray area than being black and white. But at 18, you couldn't tell me otherwise. Like if I thought it was this, it was that. And I think that I don't want to say it was a hindrance, but in a lot of ways, I feel like I missed out on things because I saw it one way when it could have been another way. So I think, to just kind of like, just relax. You don't know everything. And you're still young. I think when you get to 18, you think you're grown. Like, oh yeah, I'm grown. I'm 18. You're still a child. You know, you actually don't know. Even at 25, even at 27, me now, like, I don't know everything. And I still have a lot of learning to do. So I think it's just kind of taking stuff day by day and not trying to rush being an adult. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an adult so bad, and now I'm here. I'm like, nobody told me this is how it goes.
Let me go back. Like, clawing back in my room. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like, like, are there any flaws that you have that you truly celebrate though? Because like, what you're speaking on is wisdom. Like, okay, it's cool to know that you don't know it all, but what are some things that like are imperfections, but those imperfections actually make you perfect?
Well, I don't think anyone's perfect, so I feel like that's a hard question to answer, because you can work towards perfection, I believe, but I genuinely don't think that there's any aspect of a person, of anything that like a living organism that's perfect. So I think, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
Gotcha. Yeah, because like some people be like, you know what? I may not be, tall as the next person, but the fact that I can squeeze into Teddy Car, that's great. Or like, like even when you think about like, I don't know how deep you go with hip hop, but like Chip Tooth Nas was a different breed, right? And there was a lot of people who like Nas because like, yo, he's ruggedly handsome. Or, like everybody has those things. Or like, rapper Cool G Rap, his lisp made him like, who he is. So like,
I don't know. I'm gonna think about that and answer that next time I come and see you.
Cool,
I don't feel like that's the first time anyone's actually asked me that question, and I like that question.
Thank you.
But I actually don't have an answer for it, so I don't want to lie to you. I actually want to go away and figure it out.
Do you think your heart being on your sleeve, do you think that's a gift or a curse?
Oh, it's both. It's 50-50. It can be a gift for sure, but it can definitely be a curse. I think, like I said to you earlier, I'm very like direct, right? So I'll tell you how I have no issue telling anyone how I actually like feel. But again, that puts you in a predicament that it might not be reciprocated, right. Or the person might not care. That like there's always a downside to it. But I like to think of myself as a glass half full type of person, even though I'm not always that. And as much as there's a downside to it, there's always a great side to it too. Right. So it depends. It depends on whatever the situation is. And so far, it hasn't done me that bad. So I'm not mad at it. I feel like I said this the other day to someone too. Like in a lot of aspects in life, when we fail at something, we don't want to do it again. Like, I'm never going to do that again. Learn from my mistakes, whatever. But love is like the one thing that even though it doesn't matter how many times you've been heartbroken or been in a bad situation, you still try again. Yeah. It's so it's 50-50. But I won't stop. I'll always wear my heart on my sleeve.
That's a beautiful thing.
I was something a little off topic. Now, we have a lot of drill on the radio nowadays, and that's something that originated in the UK, London, all that. What do you think about the music that's being played here that's kind of, what's the word that's influenced by over there. Do you think is it a better or worse? Who's your favorite drill rapper? Like what?
I don't think there's a better or a worse. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not the craziest fan of drill.
Okay.
I do appreciate what it is, but I don't necessarily listen to drill music in my headphones. I do think it's dope though that it's now kind of like coming over here and there are drill artists over here doing exactly what we've been doing in England for a long time. But I also feel like it brings more attention to that scene also, which it didn't have before it came over here really. So I think it's dope.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at either or. I don't listen to enough to tell you what I think is better, so I can't give you an actual.
So we're not gonna hear a drill record from LMA.
I don't even know what I would sound like on a drill record. I'm down to try
it.
I'm down to try it.
It's a clash of sounds and worlds, man.
I'm down
I
to
think
try
it could pop.
You, whoever's big over there, because I'm not really familiar on the drill scene over there, and like Fabio Foreign. I think
I'm a big Fabio Foreign fan.
Look at that.
The song that he just did with Queen Naija and Coi Leray.
Yeah, what's my name?
With the sample in it. I thought that was cool. I'm a fan. I just don't know what I would sound like on it. But I'm down to try anything. We'll see.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now, your success is a mile marker for people who want to do what you do. Like, oh man, back in the days, people like, I want to be like Mary J. Now people want to be like Ella Mai. So when you was a shorty, tapping into the sonics and sounds of the world, who were some of the people that influenced you that made you not only step up with your artistry, but your pen game as well?
Exactly who you just said, Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
I think you can't I feel like with Mary, especially with me on this album, me being a lot more vulnerable, she's one person I always look to if I felt like I wanted honesty out of music. Like she's one person that you can't get. Like she was just always really honest and really emotional, and I always appreciate that because it's a hard thing to do. But she's one of them. I'm a big Lauryn Hill fan. I'm a big Destiny's Child, Beyonce fan. Brandy, Monica.
Yes.
Tony Braxton, all of those, all of the 90s and 2000s, even early 2000s, I always say, I'm so glad JoJo is back doing her thing because she doesn't ever get enough credit. And Jasmine's finally getting her flowers.
Yeah, man. Long overdue.
Yeah, very long overdue.
Now, do you feel like you make your best body of work or like your best songs rather when you're in a happy space, or do you have to truly be in the thick of going through something in order to get those emotions to flow right?
It depends. Because I'm a lover girl. Everyone knows me for love songs for the most part. So being happy and making love songs is what I really, really love to do. But also when I'm sad and if I'm going through something, it almost feels like therapy, or in the same sense that making a love song feels like therapy too. So I think it just depends. I think I like both. I like to go back and forth. So I don't want to go into the studio and for 1 week just make all happy music. I feel like I really like to go in and I'm not always happy. I would be lying if I told you I woke up every morning and I was happy. So whatever it is that I'm feeling on that day, I'll go in and I'll make. And if that's a week of sad songs, it's a week of sad songs. And if it's a week of happy songs, it's a week of happy songs. But I try and move around a little bit.
Does Mustard get a little possessive when it comes to his artists and you be like, hey, maybe I could work with? No.
Oh no. He's super he's the executive producer of my debut album and my now with Heart on My Sleeve. But he gives me so much creative freedom. I always play the stuff for him because I'm his
Has he ever hurt your feelings when you played something that you thought was dope?
Hurt my feelings, no, but he is always honest. I will say that.
Good.
Yeah, we definitely have a great space that if he says something to me that is not necessarily probably what I would want to hear, especially if I love a song, I can take it for what it is and not be offended. And vice versa, if he plays me something that I don't really think I would do justice, we're able to be honest with each other. So
now
let's
just say if the you're riding in a car and everybody's taking a turn beaming a song to the radio, right? If you had to pick one song off of Heart on My Sleeve, that was going to set the vibe right for everybody in the car, what song we about to hear?
How with Roddy. How featuring Roddy Ricch.
And we've been waiting for some new Roddy Ricch too, so you got him.
Yeah. I you know what? It was funny because I'm such a Roddy fan. And when I first started this album, I said to Mustard, because obviously they have a really close working relationship, I was like, please do me a favor. I need Roddy on this album. But we're always in the same studio. We work in the same space a lot of the time. We just never actually got in. And then we finally were able to get in and make house. So yeah.
That's real dope.
Well, another amazing project for the people to absorb, consume,
this
to get
bell.
To whatever.
I need a bell in my bedroom.
Nobody ever is able to do it, but I like you a lot. So
Thank you.
I think you might be the second person she's ever let tap the bell.
Who else did? Quavo? I don't remember.
It was either Quavo or Jadakiss, maybe?
Quavo.
Quavo
It
it
wasn't Jada. Yeah, Quavo.
Thank you.
There you go.
You're in an exclusive class. So if people want to catch you on tour, rocking live, doing these songs, I know you're doing something with the Mary J. Blige tour, right?
I am, yes.
Festival.
Yes. I will be. I'm on that lineup. We haven't scheduled my tour yet, which we're trying to work it out. But I definitely will be touring this album. So sometime soon you'll know. As soon as I know, everyone will know.
I can't wait to see them dance moves, girl. She twerking, y'all.
Oh, here for it. And if you happen to look on a soccer field and you see somebody kicking a ball, looks like LMA, it just might be.
It just might be.
Tennis now. Tennis. She
Both.
traded that in, right?
Well,
Both.
I haven't played soccer in a long time, but
Okay.
if I did get out on a field, I would still play
Come on.
soccer
Do
by
these
choice.
27-year-old knees still got it? That's what the field want to know.
That's the real $1 million question because I don't even know. So I should probably find a field and go and find out before I talk all of this on air.
We're going to roll up a bunch of paper.
No, that's not going to work.
Okay, never mind. Well, ladies and gentlemen, LMA is here, man. Be sure you cop the album, man. Heart on My Sleeve. Stream it wherever you copping your music from. Thank you so much for pulling
Thank
up
you for
on
having
us.
me.
Anytime.
Hey.
We are the morning hustle.